Hi there. Mark Hatfield here with Mark Chanski, the coordinator of our network, the Reformed Baptist Network. We're here in Mesa, Arizona at Cornerstone Church for their March Missions Focus Weekend, actually a focus over 2 weekends here, and thought we'd have a chance to visit. And so, Mark, I was thinking it's just been 6 months we were together in Taylor's for our General Assembly, where we actually had the first one in 2016.
Yes.
So here in
Full circle.
I know, 8th year as a network. And catch us up on how you and Diane and the kids are doing.
Yeah, I wish Diane could be here now because that was the plan. However, our fourth born, Abby, is great with child, and she was really due 3 days ago. We thought maybe she'd go early and Diane could get here, but that just wasn't to be so. So yes, we're expecting it'll be our 11th grandchild, and then there's another one. Our daughter-in-law, Kayla, Nathan's wife, is starting a pregnancy. She's about 3 months along, so we're thankful for that. And we've got our son, Calvin, who lives in the area in West Michigan, and they've got 2 children. And Austin lives in the area, and they've got 3 children. And then we've got Jared, who's off in Oklahoma City. They have 2 children. So we've got, again, like I say, 11, 12 grands, should the Lord give safe delivery to those little ones in the womb now.
That's amazing. That's amazing, friend. It seems like it's doubled since we first met.
Well, you have a new son.
That's right. That's right. We have a new son-in-law since we saw you.
You showed me pictures.
That's right. That's
God
right.
has been gracious to you. Bound your life and fallen in pleasant places, brother.
Amen. He has been. Really, he has.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it was 4.5 years ago in Coconut Creek. In September of 2019, you laid out your vision for the network. What would you say, what part of that vision would for you has come into greater clarity since then, as you've traveled to so many churches, met with so many? What's in sharper clarity for you?
Well, one of the points that I made there in Coconut Creek 6 years ago was that we need to strengthen the churches. It's not just a matter of sending out a large quantity of missionaries. We need to have strong churches who are doing the sending. And that's crucial to me as I consider how we've been given from our Puritan confession forefathers a great treasure chest of a heritage. We have certain convictions about how the word is to be preached, about how worship is to be awe-inspiring, about how a church is to function in a biblical way, and how we need to have holiness in our congregations and deep conviction and deep, solid devotional focus in our families. And it's really crucial that we preserve the treasure chest of that heritage among our churches, because that's what it is. Well, when I became a Reformed Baptist in about 1980, those were the things, this gospel that wasn't really a decisionalism, but it was a true, without holiness, no man will see the Lord kind of a gospel. We need to preserve that in our churches. And as even churches are coming in, maybe from the SBC and maybe from other kinds of church backgrounds coming to the 1689 confession, we need to make sure that those kinds of convictions are maintained, and that's that caliber of missionary that we're sending out to the ends of the earth.
That's great. And I'm excited because I think, in talking about the GA coming in September, in Riverside, it seems like Grizzly Adams' message at our last GA on a focus of being gospel-minded more than even confessional churches really struck a nerve in you. Tell us a little more about that.
Well, I think of how oftentimes we, as even Reformed Christians, can cause us to sometimes not have the guns of the gospel aiming at the enemies at the gates of hell, but sometimes we take those guns and we aim them at ourselves, and we end up fighting about tertiary and even quaternary areas instead of focusing in on the need to take the gospel to the ends of the earth. So the idea of not being merely intramural in our fightings about insignificant elements, but taking the gospel to the ends of the earth. The conviction has deepened for me.
That's great. And super. Just a last question. As you've made many trips, we follow your travels over these 4 years, and it's hard to believe it. Yeah, 4.5 years since we were there at Coconut Creek, you cast the vision. We have less than a minute, but either the greatest challenge you see in front of us, or maybe some of the greatest opportunity for the network sitting here at 65 churches in March of 2020.
I would say the greatest challenges, again, continue to be the focus that sometimes Reformed people have in arguing about non-priority issues, and the way that we as the network need to continue to be, just as Jim Adams says, we need to be Great Commission churches. Yeah, we have robust theology. We need to have a gracious manner and that earnest mission of taking the gospel to the ends of the earth. That's got to continue to be our North Star focus.
That's awesome. That's great. From Mesa, Arizona, Mark and Mark, I've enjoyed visiting with you. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Blessings.
You too.